Hi guys, welcome back to Saab Stories in episode 11 of Talk Steer. Today you will join us outside the front doors of Two-Stroke to Turbo, a Saab specialist based just outside Royston who've been in the industry for the last 39 years. We'll also be chatting with the owner Michael and taking a look at some of the treasures inside. Let's go.
The episode you're about to watch is somewhat bittersweet. We recently heard the news that this incredible place, well known for Saab sales, repairs, rebuilds and restorations, is closing its doors after 40 years, leaving behind it a Saab legacy and thousands of its happy customers that will sorely miss its place in the UK Saab landscape. We at Saab Stories have wanted to feature these guys since day one of the channel, although many mentions of this business have popped up in our interviews. Luckily, it seems we have a chance to speak with the owner, hear his own Saab story and take a look at some of the projects on the go here, including their very last full restoration rebuild on what can only be described as an icon of Saab's history. With increasingly fewer Saab specialist garages and workshops out there as the years pass, losing one as large and renowned as Two-Stroke to Turbo is a gut-wrenching loss. Please join us and owner Michael as we take one last walk with him through the final chapter of this very different Saab story.
Hi, I'm Michael Strubel, the owner at Two-Stroke to Turbo Limited.
How long have you been doing this, Michael?
Pretty well 40 years now.
That's absolutely incredible. How did you first get into doing it?
I bought a Saab 96 V4 off a good friend. It had lots of problems. I was already a mechanic. I started to fix the problems, and then the person I bought it from, he was already into Saabs in a big way. I went to work for him as a mobile mechanic. I worked with him, then became a business partner with him, and then I bought the business off him, and then I continued Two-Stroke from there onwards by myself.
So the name Two-Stroke to Turbo, I'm guessing you support everything from the classics up to the latter models?
We were working on two-strokes because Mark Lindstone, he was rallying two-strokes at the time, and we both ended up buying 99 turbos as our first company cars. And then the book came out, Two-Stroke to Turbo, and we thought, wow, that's just us. From the Two-Stroke, which we were working on, and he was rallying, and we were both driving the first turbocharged Saabs.
Being the first instance of Turbo starting to make an appearance on the scene, how did Turbo feel to you?
The first time sort of drove the turbocharged car, that was it. I was just taken by it, and there was no turning back. And I loved the technology and how advanced it was. Coming from an engineering background, that made me stick with Saab.
So you can't do this all on your own. Tell us a little bit about your team.
Well, I've always made a decision to run the workshop with fully qualified Saab technicians, and initially the company was me and Mark working on the cars, and then as we progressed, we got our first technician from Ballards of Finchley. We made a guy an offer. He came to work for us, a guy called Ash, turbo mechanic, who's still running his own business, came to work for me for a few years, and then we progressed from there, taking on other technicians along the way, always looking for the best of the best and making them offers which led them to changing from main dealer to independent Saab specialist.
What sort of benefits would you say an independent like yourself has over a main dealer?
Well, we had flexibility of the way we went around fixing the cars. We are able to offer the customer the choice of new or second hand. The parts could be cheaper, which made us very competitive. Our standards were very high, if not higher, and we basically offered a very good service, and the business grew and grew and grew.
So you've been doing this for 39 years or thereabouts.
Yeah.
What brings you to a close?
Unfortunately, the lease expired on these premises, and looking for new premises has been very, very difficult, and also the realisation that the costs are spiralling with the rent, the rates, but the main issue is that my technicians, they've been with Saab 45 years, now they're retiring or looking to retire very shortly. One of them's already retired, Dave Allen, who's with me nearly 20 plus years, he's retired, and Louis, who's also been with me nearly 20 years, he's now unfortunately wanting to retire as well.
Well, to be honest, it sounds like they've done their time.
Yeah, they've done their time with Saab. Yeah, Louis got his last challenge.
And what's he working on at the moment?
One of our biggest projects, a 96 V4, one that was back to bare metal, full restoration, and yeah, it's been very challenging, but we'll have it done.
This is one of our last projects, or it is the last project. It came in as a totally running car bought at auction by one of our customers, who then wanted to have it completely restored and everything that's possible replaced, that's on the market for new parts fitted. Brand new engine, fully rebuilt, still timing gears, big valve heads, balanced, new con rods, brand new Weber carburetor, new distributor, and then it's got a long ratio gearbox from a Saab Sonnet that's fully rebuilt, and then basically the whole car was stripped, baked, so all the paint came off, and everything redone in it, and it's coming together slowly but surely. So every nut, bolt, washer, screw has been taken off, cleaned, redone, replaced. Yeah, every element on it. So it's hopefully next week it will be finished.
Tell me a little bit about this thing here.
Well, this was a donor car. We've been taking the little clips and nuts and washers and anything that we're missing. This has been about 40 years in a field.
It looks like it.
And we've had it 10 years, but we basically kept it for just robbing little bits and pieces off it. And it's been absolutely a godsend. Before, all this was full of spares, floor to ceiling, the whole lot. And we've basically condensed it down, and we've divided it up. And so all this is at the back here, in all the blue boxes, are 96 V4 spares. They're all going off to Andy Borman. I don't know if you know Andy.
I've heard of him, yeah.
He's basically a one-man band, but very, very good with
It's going to be
Saab.
put to good use. Yeah, that's good.
I couldn't bear to throw it away. A lot of that was from when I started. All the other stock.
Oh my God.
The whole warehouse was like that, piled high. All the convertible spares still there, all the ABS systems, wishbones, and it just goes on and on and on. Basically all the spares are going in there, and we're looking for somebody to take on all the spares side, the whole business, the eBay shop, and everything to do with the spares. Now, I've got 6 months to find somebody, otherwise, unfortunately, it's all going.
So, a little comment there, if you're looking for some spares, get in touch with this guy, he's got loads of them.
As a job lot, I just want to sell the whole lot.
Yeah. This is beautiful.
Yeah, that's for sale. And
Is it?
yeah. And
Oh.
but it's called Flipper. It looks like
Black
a
and
dolphin.
white, yeah,
but
true,
it's
yeah.
a wild
Yeah.
dolphin.
Yeah, that makes sense, yeah.
It was one owner car. It was too good to scrap. It's had an absolute vast amount of work done. Drives beautifully. It's on eBay at the moment. And then our last, so that one's still for sale. This one's still for sale. 900 SC with all the wood.
Oh, that's lovely, isn't it?
Yeah, again looking for a home for that one. And then that's my last two.
You need to find a home for all these cars if they haven't sold by that point.
They'll have to go and sit on my parents' driveway. Yeah, they're used to it. Yeah, 40 years ago when I started.
Exactly, yeah.
I started using their garage, and they can go in there. So back to the beginning.
The way the Saab was going, did you have high hopes for where Saab was going to end up, or did you always have concerns that things may be going south?
Near the end, we realised very much that they were struggling. You could see the lack of availability of spares, and when they were getting into financial problems, that they weren't holding or being able to supply adequate spare parts which are unique to Saab.
You've obviously got an incredible legacy here, assisting the Saab community, keeping these magnificent cars on the road. Have you had people coming here for many years?
Well, I've still got quite a few customers who were with me from day one from the first day I registered the business. Over the years, I've most probably bought 10 or 15 cars, over the years, and I've seen their children grow up from putting baby seats in cars to now, seeing them as grown adults with their own children and supplying cars to them. So,
That's like a true Saab family.
Yeah, definitely.
What is the overriding feeling you have about working with these cars for so many years? Is it a sense of pride, or
Working on the cars and getting them right and making the customers happy with the end result. And we've got a lot of customers who, are very, very fussy. Attention to detail is needed, and to provide that sort of service, their need for perfection and not ignore it. I think it's the main thing. A lot of architects, doctors, solicitors, accountants, all running Saabs, all very professional, but all of them with the same passion for their car. A person with a Saab, if they have an accident and write the car off, they will go and buy another Saab straight away. A person with a Vauxhall or Ford or a Hyundai will just look around to see what else is there, and that's the difference.
what would you say to anyone wanting to buy a Saab now? So if someone was like, I really fancied a Saab, I'm not sure what to get, but what would you say is the best model for a first timer?
Well, it depends how much, if you want a convertible or a classic, but the main thing is there are good cars and there are not so good cars out there, but the not so good ones you can end up spending an absolute fortune on. There's a lot of cars that have just been neglected and driven, and because Saabs just soldier on, the engine keeps going and the gearboxes keep going and things fall off around them, then the next person buying them ends up with quite a big shock. The choice of model is really dependent on what type of driving and what you want for it. 9.5s, 9.3, they're all good as an everyday driver. Even the 900 Classic, we've got a lot of customers, doing 12,000 miles a year, business mileage, using them as an everyday car, clocking up the mileage without blinking. 9,000s, we've got a few customers. They wouldn't think of driving anything different. And these customers could quite easily afford something absolutely brand new, but they're just not interested in having a new car. They've got no soul.
Exactly.
Saab is a
Saab has
soul.
soul.
Yeah, exactly.
So aside from the fantastic team you have working around you, is there anybody else that has been influential to the running of two-stroke?
Yeah, definitely. My wife Alison, she helped me turn the business around when we moved here to Brook Orchard, and has supported me throughout the last 10 years in building up the business. It's been quite a journey. We've sort of finished on a high, really, here. Our reputation is excellent.
And that will live on for all of your customers you've helped over the years, of course. It's going to be strange when you guys aren't around anymore.
Yeah, no, it's going to be very difficult to think that two-stroke isn't going to be part of my life. After 40 years of
what's next
of eating, sleeping, drinking two-stroke.
Yeah, true.
Once we've sort of finished clearing up here, I'm going to take some time out and contemplate on what I would like to do in the future.
Well, I wish you all the very best.
Okay, thank you.
We'll see you again. We've had a fantastic day here at Two Stroke to Turbo, and we hope you've enjoyed the show. Let's take a look at some of the great comments that you guys have left them over the years. Thanks again for tuning in, and we'll see you soon.